One of the large changes is the ISA allowance going forward from 2027. The total allowance will still be £20,000, but the allocation of that into the different ISAs has changed. Now, the way Miss Rees framed it on Wednesday was that 8,000 of the 20,000 ISA allowance needed to be invested, effectively capping the cash ISA allowance at £12,000. As touched on earlier in the presentation, this should incentivize more individuals to invest into the stock market. And again, Miss Rees quoted the difference of return for a stocks and shares ISA versus a cash ISA since 1999. It's not necessarily the most appropriate for individuals to put money into the stock market, and that's why the cash ISA is still available. Again, it's yet to be fully digested as to how it may be impacted, because you can hold effectively cash in your stocks and shares ISA at the moment anyway, or you can hold a cash-like fund which will hold term deposits and bond-like investments. Now, there are rumours that there will be a tax on that, but again, yet to be digested and announced, which we'll keep an eye on. There will be a change to the lifetime ISA going forward in 2026, but again, that's yet to be announced. Again, it currently serves a dual purpose, assisting people with their first property purchase, but as well as assisting with retirement planning. And I think the reform that will be announced in the new year will separate those two objectives. Just to clarify, the change in the cash ISA limit does not impact ISA investors over the age of 65. Now, this budget was largely speculated, and one thing that was going around the rumour mill was to change the pension tax reliefs and the tax-free cash entitlement. Now, thankfully, the tax-free cash entitlement hasn't been changed, and pension tax reliefs remain the same. It will still fall in your estate for inheritance tax calculations for any unused pensions from April 2027. And the last change that I'm going to discuss in respect of pensions and savings is the salary sacrifice increase, or the no longer exemption. Again, from April 2029, the first 2,000 of a contribution into an individual scheme will be exempt from national insurance. But any contributions above that threshold will attract both employee and employer national insurance. And as Adam touched on earlier in the presentation, this will have a larger impact on those higher earners making larger salary sacrifice contributions, which may cause individuals to revisit their retirement and savings plan, and we're here to help them along that journey. Again, touching on that impact and implications, it may seek to cause an additional cost for employers to provide this option. There may need to be some additional creativity or strategies put in place to still incentivize and reward high earners, but without causing additional costs for the employer. Again, the last point there is for the lower and middle income individuals, this impact will be felt less than those that are the higher earners. But there is still a few years before this change will be impacted. Currently in 2029, I mean, that is still a long way away. So we'll wait with bated breath for this to be enforced. And you'll be pleased to know that is my short bit over. So I will pass over to Tim, who's going to summarize the budget and the tax raises.